First contact and deception. The stars had always called to humanity. Throughout our existence, we gazed upward, dreaming of what might exist beyond our atmosphere. By 2160, Earth had finally united under the global cooperative, a fragile alliance born from necessity after decades of climate disasters and resource wars. Our first colonies on Mars struggled to survive, and the journey to the outer planets remained prohibitively dangerous. Humanity had reached for the stars, but found itself trapped by technological limitations and the harsh realities of space travel. Commander Elena Reyes stood on the observation deck of Orbital Station Unity, Earth's largest space platform. At 42, she had witnessed humanity's greatest triumphs and most devastating setbacks. The scars on her face told stories of the resource wars, while her cybernetic right arm, a reminder of the Luna disaster, gleamed in the artificial light. "Commander, we're detecting anomalous readings at the edge of the solar system," Lieutenant Kwan reported, his voice tight with controlled excitement. "Multiple objects decelerating from what appears to be faster than light travel." Elena's heart thundered in her chest. If true, this confirmed what humans had theorized, but never proven. Superluminal travel was possible. More importantly, we weren't alone. "Alert Global Command. Initiate first contact protocol," she ordered, her voice steady despite the momentous implications. "And Lieutenant, not a word of this beyond this station until authorized." Within hours, the visitors made themselves known. 7 vessels of gleaming, impossibly smooth design entered Earth's orbit, each dwarfed humanity's largest ships, their hulls reflecting sunlight with an iridescent shimmer that suggested materials unknown to human science. They positioned themselves in perfect geometric formation around the planet, and for 3 days they observed in silence. Earth held its collective breath. Religious leaders proclaimed the end times or divine visitation. Military forces worldwide went to high alert. Markets crashed, then soared on speculation. Countless civilians recorded the ships from every angle, sharing theories that ranged from the plausible to the absurd. On the 4th day, they spoke. The message came simultaneously through every communication device on Earth, in perfect regional languages. "We are the Ardovian Alliance, a coalition of 17 sentient species dedicated to peaceful expansion and mutual prosperity. We come in fellowship and offer friendship to the people of Earth." The voice was melodic and calming, synthesized to appeal to human sensibilities. Within hours, the Ardovians requested a meeting with Earth's leadership at Unity Station. Global Cooperative President Aisha Ibrahim led the delegation. Elected for her diplomatic skill and unflappable demeanor, she was perhaps the only person qualified for this historic encounter. Commander Reyes stood at her side, along with 12 representatives from Earth's regional governments and scientific community. The Ardovian delegation emerged from their shuttle, a sleek vessel that moved with impossible grace. Their leader called himself Ambassador Varric, a bipedal being standing nearly 7 feet tall. His skin shifted colors like flowing mercury, and his 4 arms moved with precise, deliberate grace. Behind him stood representatives of 5 other species, each more alien than the last. "Greetings, people of Earth," Varric said, extending his upper right arm in what appeared to be a practiced human handshake. "We have observed your civilization with great interest." President Ibrahim stepped forward. "On behalf of humanity, I welcome you to Earth. This moment marks a historic milestone for our species." The meetings that followed painted a picture of galactic harmony. The Ardovians described a federation of planets spanning thousands of light years, united by shared technologies and cultural exchange. They offered humanity membership as an emerging civilization, a position that would grant access to medical advances, clean energy solutions, and eventually faster than light travel. "Your species shows remarkable resilience," Ambassador Varric remarked during the 3rd day of talks. "Most civilizations at your technological stage have either destroyed themselves or exhausted their resources. You've managed to survive despite significant challenges. Necessity has been our greatest teacher," President Ibrahim replied, though our unity is recent and fragile. Varric's color rippled in what appeared to be amusement. Perhaps that explains your unique approach to problem-solving. We find human creativity fascinating. Within weeks, Ardovian representatives established embassies in major cities across Earth. They brought technological gifts, medical devices that could diagnose any illness, energy collectors that drew power from quantum fluctuations, food production systems that could reclaim barren land. Each gift carefully chosen to address humanity's most pressing needs without advancing our independent technological capacity. Public opinion split predictably. Most welcomed the aliens with open arms, celebrating humanity's entry into a larger community. Others remained skeptical, pointing to historical precedents of technological exchange leading to exploitation. The Global Cooperative established a scientific commission to study and implement Ardovian technologies while monitoring for potential threats. Dr. Sanjay Kapoor led this commission, a quantum physicist with an unhealthy caffeine habit and a healthy distrust of anything too good to be true. He insisted on examining every Ardovian gift at the molecular level. 6 months after first contact, Dr. Kapoor requested an emergency meeting with Commander Reyes and a select group of officials. The meeting took place in a secure underground facility in Geneva, electromagnetically shielded from any potential surveillance. I found something concerning, he began, activating a holographic display. The Ardovian medical devices we've been distributed globally. They're scanning us. Scanning. For what purpose? Reyes asked. Genetic information, primarily, but also neural patterns, hormone production, skeletal structure, everything that makes us human. They're building a comprehensive biological database. President Ibrahim frowned. They explain the devices need to analyze human physiology to function properly. Yes, but the data isn't stored locally, Kapoor continued. It's being transmitted back to their ships using quantum entanglement. They're studying us systematically, and they didn't disclose the extent of this collection. Reyes leaned forward. Could this be benign research? Cultural exchange works both ways. I thought so too, until I found this. Kapoor pulled up another image, complex equations and molecular diagrams. Hidden in the operating system of their energy collectors is what appears to be a bioweapon schematic, species-specific, designed to target human DNA. The room fell silent. Are you certain? President Ibrahim finally asked. As certain as I can be with technology centuries beyond our understanding. It's dormant now, but with the right signal, these devices could potentially release compounds tailored to human biology. Commander Reyes studied the data, her cybernetic arm unconsciously clenching. A contingency plan, insurance policy, or preparation for something worse, Kapoor said quietly. The next revelation came a week later when Earth's deep space monitoring stations detected unusual activity around Jupiter. The Ardovians had established what they called cultural exchanges there, supposedly scientific outposts studying the gas giant. But encrypted transmissions intercepted by military intelligence painted a different picture. In a classified briefing, Admiral Cheng presented the findings. They're extracting helium-3 and several elements we haven't even cataloged yet. The scale suggests industrial mining, not research. More concerning, they've begun constructing what appears to be a military installation on Europa. President Ibrahim's expression remained neutral, but her eyes hardened, all while telling us these outposts are purely scientific. Yes. And there's more, Admiral Cheng continued. We've decoded enough of their communications to understand they refer to Earth as a resource world. They've categorized us as a Class 3 developing species. Apparently, that designation carries specific protocols for resource extraction and population management. Commander Reyes felt ice in her veins. They're colonizing us. Without the inconvenience of conquest, Admiral Cheng confirmed. Why fight when you can simply guide a species into comfortable submission? Give them enough technology to solve immediate problems, establish dependence, then gradually assume control of key resources. The evidence mounted over the following weeks. Ardovian assistants always came with integration into their systems. Their technology solved pressing problems while making Earth increasingly dependent on Ardovian maintenance and upgrades. Strategic industries quietly came under Ardovian advisory management. 3 months after Dr. Kapoor's discovery, President Ibrahim called for a secret council of Earth's most trusted leaders. The meeting took place aboard a submarine deep in the Pacific Ocean, one of the few places guaranteed free from Ardovian surveillance. "We face an existential decision," she began. "The Ardovians have technological capabilities we cannot match. Their ships alone could devastate our planet. Yet evidence suggests they're implementing a long-term strategy to strip our resources and potentially reduce our population to manageable levels." Admiral Cheng spoke next. "Military options are limited. We've analyzed their defensive capabilities. Our weapons would barely scratch their hulls. But we have advantages they don't expect," Commander Reyes countered. "They believe we're docile, willing to trade freedom for comfort. They don't think we'll fight." Dr. Kapoor cleared his throat. "I've been studying their technology. Their systems are integrated, networked in ways we're only beginning to understand. That could be a vulnerability. And they seem to have little experience with actual combat. Their approach suggests they've encountered minimal resistance in the past." President Ibrahim looked at each person around the table. "The question before us is simple but momentous. Do we continue this charade of friendship while they tighten their control? Or do we risk everything by revealing we know their true intentions?" The room was silent for a long moment. Finally, Commander Reyes spoke. "Throughout human history, we've faced overwhelming odds. We've survived ice ages with stone tools. We've overcome plagues, world wars, climate catastrophes. Each time, we've adapted and emerged stronger." She stood, her cybernetic arm catching the light. "I say we show these Ardovians what humans do when backed into a corner." The vote was unanimous. The next day, President Ibrahim requested a meeting with Ambassador Varric aboard Unity Station. As they sat in the observation lounge overlooking Earth, she calmly presented evidence of the Ardovians' true intentions. Varric's skin shifted to a deep blue-black. "You misunderstand, President Ibrahim. We offer guidance to developing species for their own protection. The galaxy is dangerous, filled with resources worth taking and civilizations willing to take them by force. Our approach preserves your culture while integrating your world into galactic society." As a subordinate partner, Ibrahim noted, "With humanity gradually reduced to a manageable population, while you extract our resources." "We prefer the term sustainable presence," Varric replied. "Your species reproduces quickly and consumes voraciously. Left unchecked, you would deplete your world entirely within centuries." "Perhaps, but that's our choice to make." Ibrahim's voice remained steady. "Earth respectfully declines further Ardovian assistance. We request the removal of all Ardovian personnel and technology from our solar system within 30 days. Varric's color drained to a pale gray. "You cannot be serious. Your civilization needs our guidance. Without it, you face centuries of struggle." "We're quite familiar with struggle, Ambassador." Ibrahim stood. "It's shaped who we are. This decision comes from fear and ignorance," Varric said, his tone hardening. "We cannot allow a developing world with your potential to proceed without proper oversight. For the safety of the galaxy, we must insist. You've shown your true intentions, Ambassador. We are not asking." Ibrahim's eyes were flint. "We are informing you of our decision as a sovereign species." Varric's color now pulsed with angry reds. "You have no concept of the forces you're rejecting. The Ardovian alliance has guided hundreds of worlds. None have refused our protection. Then we'll be the first." Ibrahim turned to leave, then paused. "You've studied our biology, Ambassador, but you've missed something fundamental about humanity. We don't respond well to threats." As she walked away, Varric called after her, "The Alliance Council will not accept this. There will be consequences." Ibrahim didn't turn back. We're counting on it. The awakening of humanity. The Ardovian response came swiftly. Within 3 days, their cultural exchange outposts transformed into military installations, their ships repositioned into attack formation around Earth. Communications ceased except for one message broadcast globally. For the protection of this developing world and the greater galactic community, the Ardovian Alliance will assume direct governance of Earth. Resistance will be met with necessary force. Humanity had prepared as best it could. The global cooperative had evacuated major cities, dispersed leadership to hardened bunkers, and implemented emergency protocols developed during the brief window of realization. Most importantly, Dr. Kapoor's team had spent weeks analyzing Ardovian technology, looking for exploitable weaknesses. When the first attacks came, they targeted military installations and communication centers with surgical precision. Beam weapons sliced through reinforced concrete like paper. Defense systems constructed during the resource wars, once thought formidable, fell silent within minutes. But the Ardovians found something unexpected: empty facilities, automated responses, and decoy targets. They expect conventional resistance, Commander Reyes had explained during planning sessions. They've studied our military capabilities, but not our military history. Humans excel at asymmetric warfare. The real human response came from unexpected directions. Hackers launched sophisticated attacks on Ardovian communication systems, using knowledge gleaned from studying their gift technologies. Engineers who had worked alongside Ardovian advisors repurposed maintenance protocols into backdoor access. Scientists who had analyzed their medical devices understood enough about Ardovian biology to develop countermeasures. Still, the technological gap was immense. Ardovian forces established control zones around strategic resources. Their weaponry decimated conventional military responses. Millions died in the first week alone. In underground bunkers, research teams worked frantically. Dr. Kapoor led the effort to understand a puzzling discovery. Ardovian systems seemed to experience subtle malfunctions when operated directly by humans. At first, they attributed this to incompatibility or sabotage. Then they recognized something profound. It's electromagnetic, Dr. Kapoor explained to Commander Reyes in a hardened facility beneath the Rocky Mountains. Human brains generate electromagnetic fields. So do Ardovian technologies. But when these fields interact, there's interference, small but measurable. How does that help us? Reyes asked, examining holographic displays of the latest battle reports. Because it's not happening with other species in the Alliance. Something about human neural patterns specifically disrupts their tech. Kapoor's eyes were bright with excitement despite his exhaustion. And we found a way to amplify it. The device they developed was deceptively simple, a neural amplifier that enhanced the natural electromagnetic output of the human brain. Initial tests showed promising results. Ardovian systems within 20 meters experienced cascading failures when exposed to amplified human brain activity. It's not a weapon in the conventional sense, Kapoor cautioned, but it's a start. Mass-produce them, Reyes ordered. Priority distribution to infiltration teams. The tide didn't turn immediately. The Ardovians still held overwhelming technological superiority. But for the first time, humans could fight back effectively. Special forces equipped with neural amplifiers infiltrated Ardovian control zones, causing critical systems to fail mysteriously. Supply lines were disrupted. Communication networks collapsed. The Ardovians responded by minimizing direct contact with humans, relying instead on automated systems and proxy species from their alliance. But this created distance between their decision-makers and the battlefield, a gap that human insurgents exploited ruthlessly. 3 months into the occupation, a new phenomenon emerged. Humans equipped with neural amplifiers began reporting strange experiences, heightened perception, intuitive understanding of Ardovian technology, and most bizarrely, the ability to manipulate electronic systems without physical contact. Dr. Ayandan Kosi, a neurologist working with Kapoor's team, recognized the implications immediately. The amplifiers aren't just increasing output, They're changing how our brains function. We're developing new neural pathways, evolving in response to Ardovian technology. Commander Reyes watched demonstration footage with growing amazement. A young lieutenant, focusing intensely, caused an Ardovian drone to power down simply by concentrating on it. A technician manipulated holographic controls without touching them. "Is it dangerous?" she asked. "Unknown," Dr. Nkosi admitted, but the subjects report no negative effects. If anything, they describe it as awakening something dormant. The breakthrough came 6 months into the war. Dr. Kapoor discovered that Earth itself was unique. Its magnetic field interacted with human brain patterns in ways unseen on other worlds. This interaction, previously too subtle to notice, became pronounced when amplified. Humans weren't just disrupting Ardovian technology. They were channeling Earth's electromagnetic field itself. Admiral Cheng developed Operation Thunderstrike around this discovery. 5,000 soldiers equipped with advanced neural amplifiers would simultaneously target the main Ardovian command ship, not with conventional weapons, but with focused electromagnetic disruption, a collective psychic assault amplified by Earth's magnetic field. "This is untested," President Ibrahim warned during the final briefing, "and leaves our forces vulnerable if it fails." "Conventional approaches have reached their limit," Admiral Cheng replied. "The Ardovians adapt quickly to our tactics. We need something they cannot predict or counter." The operation launched during a geomagnetic storm, timing chosen to maximize Earth's electromagnetic activity. Soldiers positioned globally, connected through quantum-entangled communication devices, focused their amplified consciousness on a single target. The effect exceeded all expectations. The Ardovian command ship systems didn't just fail, they reversed. Weapons turned inward, shields collapsed, power cores destabilized. The massive vessel, containing the highest-ranking Ardovian leadership, imploded in Earth's orbit. The psychological impact on Ardovian forces proved even more significant than the tactical victory. Their hierarchical command structure, suddenly decapitated, fell into disarray. More importantly, they faced something unprecedented. A species that could psychically attack their technology, something no defense system could counter. 2 weeks later, surviving Ardovian commanders requested parley. The meeting took place at Unity Station, now battle-scared but still operational. Ambassador Varric was gone, replaced by Admiral Zix, a being of crystalline composition who approached with visible caution. "Your species has demonstrated unexpected capabilities," Admiral Zix began. "The Alliance Council requires explanation before determining next steps." Commander Reyes, now bearing fresh scars and a promotion to general, represented Earth alongside President Ibrahim. "There's nothing to explain. You attacked a sovereign world. We defended ourselves, using abilities no developing species should possess," Zix countered. "Your neural interface with technology defies established evolutionary models. Perhaps your models are incomplete," Dr. Kapoor suggested. He had joined the delegation at Reyes' insistence. "Human consciousness has properties you fail to consider." Admiral Zix's crystalline form shimmered, their equivalent of agitation. "The Alliance has encountered thousands of species across the galaxy. None have exhibited this psychic potential. It presents concerns." "For whom?" President Ibrahim asked pointedly. "For societies that rely on technological superiority to dominate others." The negotiations lasted weeks. The Ardovian Alliance, for the first time in its long history, faced a species that couldn't be easily subjugated. More concerning to them, human abilities were growing stronger. Each day brought reports of enhanced capabilities as neural amplifier technology improved, and humans became more adept at using their newfound talent. Eventually, the Ardovians proposed a treaty, not of friendship, but of mutual non-interference. Earth would retain complete sovereignty over its solar system. In exchange, humanity would not export its neural amplifier technology or train other species in its use. "They're afraid of us," Admiral Cheng observed during council deliberations. "With good reason," Dr. Nkosi added. Our potential appears unlimited. Early tests suggest these abilities may be passed to subsequent generations, becoming a natural human trait over time. President Ibrahim signed the treaty 3 days later. As the Ardovian delegation prepared to depart, Admiral Zix approached her privately. Your species concerns the Alliance deeply, the crystalline being admitted, not for what you are, but for what you may become. We only wanted independence, Ibrahim replied. Not conflict. Perhaps. But understand this. The galaxy now watches Earth with great interest. Some with fear, others with hope. Zix paused. There is an ancient prophecy among the elder races of a dormant species awakening to reshape the cosmic balance. Many dismiss it as myth. And you? I believe we have witnessed the beginning of something unprecedented. Zix's crystalline form caught the light. Whether blessing or catastrophe remains to be seen. As the last Ardovian ships departed the solar system, humanity began the long process of rebuilding. Cities emerged from bunkers. Industries restarted. The neural amplifier technology, now refined and better understood, promised revolutionary advances in human capability. 1 year after the war's end, General Rice stood again on the observation deck of Unity Station, gazing at Earth below. The planet bore scars from the conflict, but they were healing. More importantly, humanity had changed fundamentally, united not just politically but evolutionarily, awakened to potential long dormant within human DNA. Was it worth the cost? President Ibrahim asked, joining her at the viewport. Rice considered the millions lost, the cities destroyed, the innocence of pre-contact Earth forever gone. We're still here, still free. And now the galaxy knows something crucial about humanity. Rice considered the millions lost, the cities destroyed, the innocence of pre-contact Earth forever gone. We're still here, still free. And now the galaxy knows something crucial about humanity. What's that? That we will never surrender our future. Rice turned from the viewport to face a new delegation waiting in the conference room. Representatives from 3 previously unknown species who had requested alliance with Earth. And that changes everything.